Most of the times, students and parents, when they contact me, they ask this question: Sir, किस career में scope ज़्यादा है? Which career has more scope? Or does this particular career that I'm thinking of has scope? Does textile engineering have scope? Is there a scope in extended reality, virtual reality? What do you think could be the scope in the field of, say, audiology in the long run? And what is the scope in the field of, say, environmental science? A lot of questions that students and parents have when they look at this concept of scope. I agree that scope is important and should be a factor that should be considered when you are looking at a career option. However, it is overrated or exaggerated in India where people are highly running after scope. So the idea that I have for you is that if you are looking at scope in your career, then it's first better to evaluate your interest in a particular field. And if you feel that you're interested in that field, then go and evaluate the scope in that particular field. And scope is also very subjective. Not like, what do you mean by scope? Do you mean the kind of, admission opportunities? Do you mean the job opportunities? Do you mean the earning capacity? Do you mean future growth prospects in terms of designation? Do you mean business opportunities? Do you mean learning opportunities? What do you mean? What does scope mean for you? So we need to understand all these different concepts about scope before we move ahead in the journey of planning our career based on scope. Because what happens is that if we choose a career solely based on scope, it can be risky because scope can change over time due to market fluctuations or technological advancement. Like, if you say many years back, there was a lot of scope in the field of computer science. Today, also there is scope. However, it has become more niche in the sense that degrees are available today in artificial intelligence, machine learning, and specifics in the field of computer science, even at the graduation level. So that's why, scope evolves over a period of time. Therefore, it is more important that we align our careers with our personal interests, skills, and values for long-term fulfillment and success. So if we have a particular, career which we feel aligned with, aligned means in the terms of our personality, our interest, and our ability. When we feel that we are aligned with these three things in a particular career, and we look at that in that particular way, then we could consider evaluating the scope of the particular career in the dimension that we are interested in. As I said, in terms of salary, in terms of growth, in terms of learning opportunities, admission opportunities, colleges, jobs, etc. So that is the way that can help you navigate the scope journey. And in this particular video, actually I'm going to discuss about why we should look beyond scope when choosing a career. Sounds interesting, right? Yes, it is going to be one of my very interesting videos and empowering videos which can help you to understand the science of career selection at a very deep level. So watch it with attention and take notes. Before we begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Akshay and I've been working at IIT Bombay as a project manager for more than 12 years. And with my experience of interacting with students, professors, and the alumni there, I come to understand that the science of career selection in India is faulty and it requires a revamp in terms of understanding what could be the different factors, how to navigate them so that we can make a career choice that can make us fulfilled in the long run. And to solve this particular problem, I founded Career Vision Hub, where I help students from high school and college to scientifically and systematically explore, discover, and grow in their career journey. If you want to understand more about the science of career selection and how to grow and thrive in a competitive environment, I would suggest you to visit my website jakshay.com or careervisionhub.com and sign up for my next webinar. In this webinar, I'm going to help you crack the career code. So let's jump into this video. So what is the scope of biotechnology or scope of psychology in India? What about hotel management? What is the career scope? And what is the scope of engineering? Scope of actuarial science? And is there scope in fashion designing? No, these are not just any random words and phrases. They are in fact some of the most popular Google search terms related to careers in India. So I'm sure you would have come across a few or even searched for similar terms yourself when figuring out which career to go for. So why are we talking about search terms, you may ask? Because this search behavior is a reflection of what students look for and are concerned about. They are a befitting example of our obsession with scope as a factor for career choice. So this fixation on scope sometimes goes even as far as making scope the primary factor for choosing a career. So a common question like which career has the most scope just shows how driven we are with the idea of scope, that we don't even care about if the career is good or suitable for us or not, as long as it has good scope in the future. But in most cases, a preoccupation with scope can prove to be detrimental to a career choice. There are many reasons why you need to look beyond the scope of a career when making your career decision, and that's what exactly I'm going to discuss in this video. So again, because this fact point is so important, I've seen many times parents finding out that isme scope zyada hai, so I want my child to get into this particular career because it has more scope. But they never talk actually about whether this particular career resonates with the child's personality, interest, and aptitude. And these are the three things. Personality is who you are as a person, what kind of persona you have. Are you an introvert, extrovert? Are you imaginative? Are you practical? Are you focused, organized, or are you more towards the easygoing side? Are you emotionally very resilient, or are you more sensitive sensitive. So all these parameters have an impact on a career choice. Then when it comes to interest, do you like working outdoors? Do you like leading? Do you like working with data, or you like working with people? Do you like to be creative or investigative? All these are also different kinds of interests that has an impact on the career choice. And then comes aptitude. What kind of aptitudes or abilities you have? Because it's not just interest and personality, but you need to have the required aptitude as well. So aptitude could be like in the numerical aptitude, your verbal, your mechanical or physics aptitude, your ability to visualize, which is spatial aptitude, and if your most importantly the aptitude for reasoning is also there, problem solving and reasoning. So these different kinds of aptitude, interest and personality are also very important to be considered. Plus there are other factors also which need to be considered and not just scope that one need to understand. I would like to share this with you. That is my own journey of life when I had a choice to choose a job at IIT Bombay. I was working in the software industry and I was not resonating with this job at all. I got this opportunity at IIT Bombay. However, the salary that was offered to me was 10% lesser than what I was actually drawing. And my boss asked me, Akshay, what do you want to do? And because I felt that I could resonate with the job role that was being offered better than what I was currently doing, I went in for this 10% hit in salary. And within 3 years, I saw that I got a jump in salary. My salary actually doubled. Plus, I got promoted to the senior project manager position at IIT Bombay. So I feel that if I'm doing something that is more I'm inclined with, I can actually create scope there. And not only this, that is where my journey started. When this 3 years when I interacted with students, I started my journey as a career coach. I went on to do my certification in career guidance, career counseling, and started working with premium institutes like L&T India, and even working with students and schools at a professional level to help them in their career journey. This is how scope got created for me, because I went on with my interest, my inclination in terms of my personality, interest and aptitude that I just explained. And you may be wondering, how do I understand about my personality, interest and aptitude? If you really want to understand more about them, there are tools like psychometry and astrology that can help you. If you're a member of a community, you may probably already got access to the psychometric test or the astrology tool. If you have not got and you want to know more about them, please send us an email at cdhakshay@gmail.com. So let's continue with the video further. So we have a story here of Rishi. So Rishi is confused about his career choice, and he had heard from many other people that some fields had more scope than others, and that he should choose a career based on the demand and popularity of the field. He was not sure if he should follow his passion for biotechnology and artificial intelligence, or if he should choose a more conventional and safer option like medicine or law, which probably had more scope from what he was hearing from these people. So let's try to understand why we should look beyond scope with the pointers that I have prepared for you in this particular presentation. First is, the career with the most scope might not be a good fit for you. The simplest of all propositions, someone talking says that medicine or law has more scope according to him compared to biotechnology or artificial intelligence that Rishi is looking for, then in that case, it's possible that Rishi may not resonate with medicine or law. Then what will happen? Even if the scope is there, when he goes on to work in that particular field, or if he wants to study in that particular field, he may not be happy and content. And can he continue living like that all his life? Because it's about 40 hours and 40 years. You cannot work in a career or study a career for 40 hours, 40 years continuously if you don't resonate with it. You may end up professionally sleepwalking, which is happening to 1/3 professionals in India today. The simplest of all propositions, yes, you're searching for a career that offers an immense amount of scope. But what if it is a career is not meant for you, or you don't resonate with it? So we already discussed about different factors like aptitude, personality, and interest that are crucial when you need to look at a particular career. So the career fitment is very, very important. So even with the field with the highest demand cannot lead you to have a successful career if you lack the skills or the talent which is necessary to succeed in it. So high scope careers might get you to dream of having 6-figure packages and earning copious amounts of money. But believe me, no company in the world is going to just hand you money on a silver platter if you cannot prove your worth to it. And if also you do not resonate with it, then it is definitely going to impact your performance. As the same had happened with me when I was working in a software company. I had the acumen, but I was not getting that interest, and then I was constantly thinking that this is not what I want to do all my life. I've already done it for so many years. I want to get a break from this. And when I was not able to do it, this constant thought in my head was severely affecting my performance. So in any field you may look at, you would always find top performers, the average Joes, and then those standing at the bottom of the pyramid. And the irresistible 6-figure salaries are generally not earned not by the later two, but the former top performance. So it is up to you to decide whether you want to stand at the bottom in the field with the highest scope, or be at the top in the field you are actually good for and happy with. Next comes Scope for many fields is created over time. So scope is a very fluid concept and is never static. What is in demand in the job market today might lose its sheen over the years, while a field that didn't even exist a few years back might become the most sought after in the present day. So fields like data science, UI/UX design, machine learning, social media marketing, blogging, etc. came into existence only a few years ago, yet they are among the topmost emerging careers of today. And another example is the popularity of careers over time. So while in the past, the top positions may have been grabbed by traditional careers like engineering, management, and law, today they have made way for an altogether different set of careers like merchant navy, computer applications, and mass communication. So with the job market being so dynamic, we cannot always make predictions about which career is going to have the most scope in a few years. And a field that you may disregard today, lack of scope, might just witness a rise over time and become the in thing of tomorrow. So it's quite unpredictable, you see. And then you might miss out on something perfect for you in the pursuit of scope. So you may think this is all well, but what if the career I like doesn't have a lot of scope? What use is there in me pursuing the career there? So the idea that the field they wish to pursue doesn't have a lot of scope or demand is an idea that scares many, and it's a thought that hinders them from pursuing fields they like and have the right attitude for. So let's kind of look at some examples of founders who didn't worry about scope. So what you're missing out here is that people who create value create a demand also for themselves and their career too. So there exist numerous examples of people who built excellent careers with the skills because they created their own demand. So now this may be challenging, it will not be possible for everyone, but I'm sharing the perspective of a possibility that you could consider. So for example, we have Anurag Kumar. So Anurag Kumar, he founded the Viral Fever in 2012, an online entertainment source that disrupted the Indian comedy scene and changed the way we look at YouTube today. Then we have Amit Agarwal, India's first professional blogger, who started his tech blog, The Digital Inspiration, back in 2004, when blogging was an entirely alien concept, and now has 3 million plus visitors on his blogs every month. Then we have Sushita Salwan, and she founded the Little Black Book at the age of just 22 as a platform for people to discover places and events of interest in the cities. And she has also featured in the Forbes 30 under 30 list. And these are one of many, right? Had any of these people stopped to worry about scope, they would surely not be where they are right now. They would probably be stuck in a field which is entirely unsuited to them. So what it tries to say that scope exists in each and every field, and there are always takers of people who can prove their worth through their work. So don't miss out on something perfect for you in the blind chase of scope. Next comes, scope is more synonymous with popularity than actual demand. So now another thing with the scope is, it is a somewhat abstract concept that lies more in the popular mindset than in actual numbers and figures. And oftentimes people assume that scope of a field is really high because everyone is doing it. So it's like a herd mentality. Of course, how can so many people be wrong? If everyone is running behind the same field, it must surely be a good one to go for. However, the other people themselves are running behind other people, and so on. So this is the crowd of the herd mentality. Is more often than not the actual reason behind why some careers are professed to have a lot of scope, even when there is no actual data to support such claims. And I personally believe that there is no successful careers. We become successful in the career that we resonate with. So coming back, in such cases, scope can also be illusionary. You might rely on someone else's opinions or ideas, your friend's elder sister telling you to pursue a particular course because there is a lot of scope in it, or your cousin brother asking you to refrain from pursuing a particular field because I've heard there is not a lot of scope for it in India. So in neither of the two cases is there any actual data to support their views, right? Because when you hear about these things, please ask for actual data or do your own research to find out actual data to support these kind of statements. They might have just heard some information from someone else, or may again be relying on the popular opinion like everyone else. It's like a Chinese whisper game going on. So what is more important than scope? So now you know why scope is not the best factor to land a career choice. Instead, you should focus more on finding a fit with a career based on your aptitudes, interests, and personality. You should also look at the work people do in the field and see if it excites you. And there are also times when, due to its popularity, field may actually become saturated. For example, it has been claimed that engineering has a lot of scope. However, the ongoing reality that many engineering graduates face that due to the overabundance of engineering students and colleges in the country mushrooming everywhere, the picture of placement and job opportunities is not as rosy as people had painted it. So in such cases, while the claimed scope might not do you much benefit, knowing that what kind of skills are required to stay ahead can actually help you. So the engineering students who have relevant upcoming skills like machine learning, artificial intelligence, and the latest programming skills are doing well for themselves. So this is also important. While I would still say that it's not that engineering or any other career that we are thinking of, we need to consider in the right domain in understanding about the scope of that particular career. Actually, ये हमारे लिए ये कितना इसका scope है actually. In the sense कि scope तो है, But what about, whether I am interested in that? Am I resonating with that? Is my interest, personality, and aptitude resonating with that? So we could, take help of tools like psychometry, astrology to help, us find that out. And now we can go back to Rishi. So Rishi actually learned that scope was not the best factor to land his career choice. So Rishi was blown away what he learned in his presentation. And he learned that the scope was not the best factor to land his career choice. He learned that scope was often more synonymous with popularity than actual demand, and that it could change over time. He also realized that what was more important than scope was finding his fit with a career based on aptitude, interest, and personality. And when parents say, "Beta, ये कर लो, इसमें वो scope है," what thoughts do you have? Let me know in the comment box. जब parents ऐसा बोलते हैं या कोई ऐसा बोलता है आपको, "बेटा इसमें यार इसमें बहुत scope है, कर लो," आपके क्या thoughts आते हैं? क्या thoughts आते थे पहले? And what are the thoughts you're going to have now when you have got this learning from this particular video? So building skills and finding the careers that match your existing set of skills is much more important, that I feel, than looking at scope. Okay, and I hope this video has been helpful for you. It's a really very important, powerful video. If you could not get all the concepts, I would encourage you to go back again in this video and revisit it to understand this very, very important concept in your career that could be very empowering in your career selection journey. So thank you very much for watching this video, and please, let me know in the comment box what do you think about, scope. अगर आपको कोई scope बोलते हैं, इसमें scope है, तो what is your thought before and what is your thought right now? And if you found this video valuable, I'm sure you did, so please don't forget to like this video and put your comment, share it with your friends, parents, other students who are caught in this myth of scope, right? And do subscribe to the channel so that more such interesting videos on career science come straight to you. Thank you very much and all the best.